Hello, welcome back to I Got Board Game. I am Ben, and today I am joined by a special guest. This way.
Daniel!
This is Daniel.
Hello!
Daniel is my cousin who I actually have been able to play a lot of board games with over the years, especially more recently over kind of the Christmas season. We got to play a lot of new games, both for him and me, because of not getting to play normally during 2020.
That's true. 2020.
And one of the games that I got to introduce him to briefly with we played it once, maybe?
Yeah. Once. Well, maybe just because I died so fast. But anyways, yes.
Was Dice Throne. And so Dice Throne is a game that I haven't reviewed on this channel yet, but it is a game that I enjoy a lot. And the production value is amazing. Game by Roxley Games. Generally a 1v1 fighting game with kind of King of Tokyo dice rolling or Yahtzee dice rolling, activating your own character's abilities, also spending combat points to play certain cards for special actions and bonuses. And so today, I asked Justin to join me for this unboxing video, because he enjoyed Dice Throne quite a bit, right, when we played it recently. And so then even more recently is when the Dice Throne Adventures, or basically Dice Throne Season 3, arrived from Kickstarter just a couple days ago to my place. And so I was like, oh, okay, Daniel enjoyed it. Maybe I can show him what's in it.
The new game!
Yeah, new stuff, a lot of new stuff.
Maybe I'll win with this new stuff, but whatever. I'm back next.
Yeah.
I need all the bonuses.
Same with me. Is like I can't play it by myself. So actually, maybe the adventure mode I could, but we'll see. So again, I mentioned that this was the Kickstarter for Dice Throne Adventures, and so that's what we're unboxing today. So let me switch to the other camera to show you guys briefly what it looks like. It is this big box compared to my hand. It's a really big box and very thick box with gorgeous artwork by, I believe it's Manny, I want to say Tremblay is his name, the artist for all of the Dice Throne series, and it's kind of designed like it is a box, but it's designed to look like a tome or a book. And so this is the main Dice Throne Adventures that was on Kickstarter, turning the original game, Season 1 and 2, into not just a 1v1 fighting game, but into an adventure game where you're going to set up like a dungeon with tiles that you're going through cooperatively to reach a boss, where you're leveling up and getting maybe more items or abilities along the way. I'm not exactly sure, obviously, because I haven't played it and Kickstarter was a while ago. But this is what we'll be unboxing for you today. But before we get to this, we're actually going to be unboxing something else that came with the Kickstarter.
Surprise! Oh, okay, not yet. Surprise!
This is Dice Throne Season 1 Reroll. And so again, this is like a pretty
certified Season 2 upgrade, kind of.
Yeah. So what Daniel and I got to play when he was here was the Season 2 characters. And Season 2 was a big deal. Let me put this on the side for now. Is because that's when they moved from the Season 1 look, which is like this, and those are the original characters in Season 1, but it is clearly like a thinner box, right? So smaller, less content. And then even on the back, you can kind of see what it looked like. All the cards were just like opaque colored. The player board was kind of just with the descriptions of the abilities. When they switched to Season 2 is when they did the big box.
Oh, so nice.
And in this big box, it had a whole set of new characters. Look, camera focus. There you go.
There you
go. Aside from new characters, they were all done in a different production style, basically with nice game trays for each character, a whole new graphic design that shows more artwork for the characters and their actions, and just very nicely organized in their, like I said, their own trays. Fancy,
Wow.
fancy stuff. And so the season 1 Rerolled, which I got with the Dice Throne Adventure Kickstarter, is redoing all the season 1 characters into this kind of format, production wise, graphic design wise. And so this is what I will show off first right now. Wow. So let's get into this.
What's a picture? What's that a picture of?
So this
is that a guy or?
Yeah. So for those of you who are wondering, kind of the theme in this game, the setup of this world is there's this mad king. Who I think is the one arranging this kind of tournament among all these champions. And so then in Dice Throne Adventure, you're ultimately trying to defeat him together.
Oh, that's quite nice.
But yeah, so that's
I like the co-op feel. Then I won't die immediately. Yeah, I guess it's nice because then it's like, you know how as you start when you're a noob, it's like if you're playing with against a friend, it's like, okay, clearly you're just gonna shoot me down, I'm gonna lose. But then like with this cooperative kind of mode, it's more like, okay, we're on the same team and I don't need to get all like scared
it makes it a cooperative game, right? And so there is the nice artwork on the inside with the season 1 characters. This is the inside of the box lid. And then the characters all arranged in their own trays, game trays. So nice.
Wow.
And actually, well, before I show this one, there is, for example, one of the original characters, the Moon Elf.
Okay.
And so if we open her tray up, we'll see all her new components. So this is like her own player board, which flips out.
Wow.
Ooh, I really like her new art. And I like how now they have like, instead of opaque colors for their abilities, now they all have the artwork for them.
Yeah. Because you're right, the first edition, or not the first, I guess the first edition didn't have that, not animation, but that like depiction of that moves under the dice combination, right?
Yeah. And so much more artwork, and then her little sideboard explaining her tokens. Wow. And then her own character background and kind of complexity level to play her. She's level 2, so easy.
So neat. Good. So if you're starting player, you can pick this person out.
Yeah. Then her own combat dial. I mean, the original version did have a combat dial and health dial. I think that's mainly the things that are the same, and the dice.
Yeah.
But then obviously these are custom dice, marbleized and colored.
How did this? Did the dice or do the dice differ that much in appearance compared to the first one?
I don't think so. Not that I remember.
So it's mainly just the
like the original. It might have been not marbleized.
Okay.
The Kickstarter version might have been marbleized, but I don't remember right now.
Fair, yeah.
But yeah, but they have the dice again, and these are marbleized. And then her own cards done in the new graphic design, right? Not opaque colors, but actually with the artwork, and mostly black, but then with the colored borders. So her own cards.
Because if I'm not mistaken, the first edition didn't have that. I guess that picture, right? Or is it?
Yeah.
It's just the text, and then like.
Yeah. I think they mainly just had the text.
I guess this is more.
I don't remember the pictures with it either.
Yeah. Just makes it a lot.
They might have for the special character cards, like not the generic cards, but I don't remember right now. And so let me just open this really quickly too, just to kind of flash through the cards for us.
Oh.
And so we didn't get to play as the first season characters when we played, right?
No, I don't think so.
But they are supposed to be, even originally, supposed to be combinable with the season 2 characters. So at least they were designed that way that you could play them all together.
That's true, yeah.
And so, but then this is to put them into the new graphic design style. And so you could see, ooh, man, the art's so nice.
It looks so good. Yeah, I feel like that was something. Yeah, looking at the first edition, that was something I felt like was a little missing. Like I think because I quickly looked through the first edition when I was there, but like it just felt like a generic card. Not to say, I mean that's not a bad thing per se, but this just makes it more immersive of an experience. Like, oh, I'm really taking on this character, doing all these moves.
Yeah, and like I said, I wasn't sure if the character cards had artwork in the original, but I know these kind of generic cards didn't have artwork. And so now even the generic ones have this kind of artwork on it.
Yeah.
And then the character ones I think are really cool because sometimes it just looks like it's just really nice artwork. But then for like the ability upgrades too, again, it has the artwork which is done in the background of it, which is a nice touch, right?
Yeah.
And so, so this is what one character comes with. And each character comes with their own tray and dice and cards and such like this. So very fancy, redoing the season 1 characters. One I mentioned I wanted to show off before we started recording is the ninja.
Okay, not that tree. No one cares about that tree. Just kidding.
The ninja, because the ninja and the treant are in the season 1 rerolled, but they were actually characters who weren't in the original season 1. They were added later as, I believe, print and play characters.
Oh, okay.
Especially the treant, I know, because the treant was part of a design contest that they did during the season 2 Kickstarter. And so then they released the character that, won the contest, the votes, as a print and play character. But then when they produced the season 1 reroll, they actually made them into full characters.
Wow.
And added the ninja. And the ninja.
Oh, looks so good.
Oh gosh, those abilities.
I guess that like center picture is like really vibing with it. Like because like the first edition was it's nice. It sets the stage of what this game's supposed to be like. With that like big picture of the ninja person makes it just looks a lot. It just looks a lot better.
Yeah, it really brings out the theme and helps you get into playing as that character.
Oh yeah.
When you actually get to see them all over the place, basically, in all your cards and stuff. And yeah, her dice.
Oh, so nice.
And then her combat point tracker, health tracker, and of course her deck of cards.
Wow.
So just
I mean, like, this ninja's so good. It makes the tree. I don't know. The tree must be really good too. I don't know. I mean, I've not seen the tree other than you saying tree, and I was like, I think I quickly saw a tree, but like, it has a lot to.
The treant.
Okay, it's better than just a tree, but I guess just in my mind, it's always just gonna be a tree. I'm sure it's powerful and all that. Maybe I should try out the tree. Maybe I'll win with the tree. Who knows?
So that was season 1 rerolled. Just to give you an idea of what's in there and what comes with it. And so now going on to the main part of the Kickstarter in this unboxing.
Drum roll.
We're gonna look at Dice Throne Adventure, all the stuff that makes it into a co-op adventure game. And I had told Daniel, this is the part that I'm not exactly sure what's in here. Like I knew season 1 rerolled when I saw it. I kind of forgot what that was too when the package came. I was like, did they actually remake all the characters, or is it just like certain upgrade components or something? I was like, oh no, they actually remade everyone. But then the adventures part is the co-op game, which I know then has certain tiles that you lay out as your dungeon. That then move on to the space and you activate a fight with like a minion. So there are going to be mini player boards to indicate the minions' abilities and stats. And then there's going to be full-on player boards for the bosses that you could choose to fight. But aside from that, I'm not sure how it's all arranged in here. So we're going to get into this. This is a bigger box than the season 1 rerolled. Not thickness wise, but it is actually like a full square box. So that's how it's bigger.
Would it be like terrible terrible if you opened it and it was just like a brick inside? Like, oh, my heart.
No, I mean the part I am worried about is like if anything's damaged with
no.
unboxing.
Not as bad as just like a brick, but like still.
And so let's open this up.
Oh, that's so nice. It's all matte and stuff. Oh.
And so actually on the cover you can see some of the characters. So this is the season 1 Shadow Thief, season 2 Gunslinger and Samurai characters, and they're facing this fallen barbarian, which is one of the bosses you can end up choosing to fight. And so the villains or the bosses in this game are basically kind of like different evil takes on certain previous characters, and they have their own background of how they might relate to those characters. So there's kind of that world building.
I see.
But so then you have the rules and the video tutorial, so you could just watch the video for learning how to play. Lots of pictures to show you all the tokens, and I guess there's like a whole token tray. So that's nice for sorting. Oh man, so much stuff.
Colorful. Oh, I love it.
Yeah, like the tray for all the tokens, tray for all the maybe enemy cards or such like that, a track for your treasures that you can get. Oh, wow. And then obviously and then for this one, it's important to know you have to have season 1 or 2 already, because you're playing with those characters through this adventure version of the game.
Oh, that makes sense.
But yeah, a lot of pictures. So hopefully, I mean, it looks well organized. So hopefully it is very clear how to go through it. Also like a shopping part of the game.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's how you can maybe add more stuff to your deck while you're playing through the adventure. Yeah. And then this is, it looks like you can, a record, a scoring sheet that you can fill out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so like kind of maybe like how far you got, or keeping track as you're playing through the different scenarios in the game.
So this is like it seems like you just put on all your plays of this game. Like that's not just one game's worth. Right.
Yeah, it's like
all of them.
each session.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. Each session, and you put down like which scenario you played, and then stuff you had left over, like gold and such like that.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, there's that sheet to track it. This is an ad from them for all their shirts and accessories specifically for this game. The miniatures you can buy for the game, which are just cosmetic, to indicate your character on the board. But then all the tokens to punch out. Yeah, a few punch out sheets in here. Punching out the standees for your characters to indicate where you're moving on the board. If you didn't get the miniatures right.
The tree doesn't look bad. Okay. Give it too much crap. Okay. Sorry, tree.
And then you have, I think this is what we saw in the rule book, the picture for like the tokens tray, custom tokens tray. Oh, this is like a thicker tray that even says Dice Throne on the side. This is probably a tray for like all miniatures and others. If you see in there, the camera's in the way. But yeah, I guess it even has labels of the certain things that might go where. And this is actually kind of cool. So here are the custom dice for the minions. I mean, they're in a sense generic, quote unquote, to work with all the minions, but they're still custom dice. So yeah, all the dice in here, and then
those are also the bosses ones too, right? Or
maybe that might make sense too.
I don't know.
That might be true. But I noticed that they're for the minions because these are like the combat tiles for minions.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that's pretty cool.
Wow.
And they all have the minions artwork on it.
Wow.
I guess you could use either. Use whichever ones for whichever thing you're fighting, because you're basically fighting a limited number of things at a time. And then, so that's this tray. And then you have this. This is a big tray. Let me get to this other less big tray, which is fancy.
Wow.
And this is the shop character. I think she's like some kind of fairy, Rosalia.
Oh, wow.
Who then is like running the shop. And so this is actually kind of heavy too. So I'm curious what's also in here, because this looks like a board, just a paper board to mark the prices of things.
Oh, okay.
That you might get to buy, or you have to identify certain items you got. But then under that, okay, there's like these different. Okay. Here's like the loot track for you. I think I remember you roll one of those yellow dice that we went and saw to indicate what kind of little reward you get after beating a minion. And I think each player gets to do it so they can get different things.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
But the other things in here are the sideboards for the bosses. Fallen Barbarian, Gunslinger, and Monk. So based on previous characters.
Oh.
And so indicating what their tokens do.
Are they different? I have not played with those characters. Are they similar? Like that? Those are status effects and like.
I think they should be similar. That's my guess, because they're using the same terms at least.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Then the Mad King himself.
Ooh.
So there's those 3 bosses and then the big boss.
Wow.
But then under that, I think the heavy part was
this guy
was the full-on player boards for them. So the Fallen Barbarian.
I guess someone could technically play. That's not the.
Oh, like play as them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know if that's in the rules. That could be.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I guess
Fallen Gunslinger on their own board. But I think you were right though that the dice are the same ones used for them, because the symbols are the same as on those dice we saw for the minions. Well, yeah, so all of them have their own.
Ooh, that looks good.
Player board. The Fallen Monk.
I don't know what the monk looks like, but this one looks cool.
And then the Mad King. I'm just mainly showing the artwork because, we're not going to look through all the actions and stuff on them right now. Might even spoil some things. So, But yeah, so those are all the boss player boards. And then lastly, the
biggest
big tray, which takes up the whole rest of it. Very, very thick tray. I believe these are the cards, like all the rest of the tiles that I mentioned that you used to set up the dungeon. Oh, and then there's legacy stuff, as in a legacy game where you make maybe permanent changes to your game, your copy of the game. So don't open these until you're told to do so. So I'm not going to open those. But then these are, I think, more of the whole stack of tiles that you use to set up the area you're playing on.
Wow.
Yeah, it says environment there.
Oh, it's upside down.
Okay. Yeah. And then you have stacks of cards.
That's for each of the bosses?
Which it could be the bosses. Because it does have like a roll objective, like what you're trying to roll to maybe do it.
That makes sense.
It could be. Or it could be loot. Maybe stuff you're trying to add to your deck. And then on the side here are the boards for the minions themselves. So the minions don't have full-on boards, but they're mini boards, right? Where they just have like a couple abilities on the side. And so then another player, when you're fighting them, has to roll for them to see what action activates for them. And then they have their own life amount at the top and CP, combat point amount. And so actually, let me open this just to show some of the artwork from the minions.
Yeah.
Because I think it's cool that that's how they did adventure, right? Like that they made it so that you're still fighting the same way you do in the regular 1v1 game, but you're doing it on the smaller scale.
Yeah.
Through the dungeon. I think that's smart.
Is there because I know with like, well, I guess is 1 minion at a time, right?
I think it's 1 minion at a time, or like 1 minion per space. So once you So once you get onto a space and start a fight with them, you have to stay there to finish fighting them.
Gotcha.
We have like the horned harpy and the wither elf.
Wow.
And axe knight.
Dang.
Arcane vibra. And there's a lot. This is like a whole stack of them.
Wow.
Of different levels, because that depending on what tile you get on, that's the level of minion you randomly grab. Like a level 1 shadow cat.
Yeah.
We were looking at level 2 stuff, but then there's also level 3, like the this one's cool. The Crimson Archer.
Oh wow. Fancy.
And so yeah, the levels like in the top left. And then I guess there's even level 4, like this corrupted rogue.
Wow. Dang. 30 health. They're never gonna die.
Actually, wait, is that what it said?
Yeah, I think it's like 30. It was 30 in the heart. So
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, so like this is like a whole stack of minions. So that's pretty crazy. That's a lot more than I expected. And then dividers to those.
The strength of the minions.
And then these are and I guess these might be the
how you that makes sense.
Yeah, how to set up a dungeon and the heroes if they start with anything different, or how to finish the scenario.
Oh, so it doesn't seem like, or I don't know, just from looking at that, you might not go through all the. Oh, you might not go through all 4 of those bosses. It's just like maybe 1.
Yeah, I think like maybe like certain scenarios will end a certain way, like getting through to a certain tile. That's my guess. And then in one scenario, it could be to fight one of those bosses.
Gosh, because that'd be a lot of.
And so yeah, legacy pack.
Open all of them.
Pack. And so yeah, and then I guess
no, I'm kidding.
The last thing we haven't looked at is then I think there's just these organizers for the cards, like the different level of loots and the bosses. So these are just card dividers to be used for organizing. And lastly, these might be the cards you get to add to your deck, because I think that L on the bottom might mean like a legendary level or something. Yeah, or loot. But I think the color, I think the color might mean a certain
level. Like of a certain how.
Yeah, so fancy.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because
it's like add to your deck. That then changes the character beyond their original way, right? And so that is the unboxing of Dice Throne Adventure. And the last thing that I got with the Kickstarter, then let me try to move some of these out of the way, are just some of these accessories and promos that came with the campaign, like promo pack for the season 1 Rerolled characters. I think I do have the promos from the first season 1 I back on Kickstarter, but this is probably redoing them to fit the same graphic design that they have now. The reroll, so this small pack of promos. And this is the promos for Dice Tower Adventures itself. So probably certain equipment or even bonus. I guess you see like a level 4 minion. So promo, things like that. And this I just wanted to show a little bit because I decided to get these accessories, the custom card sleeves, because I sleeve as much as I can. And then so this one is the add-on for all the bosses card sleeves. So you can see,
so
their
nice.
artwork on the back of these card sleeves.
Is that guy's mouth opened? Oh, that's just his chin. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, the Fallen Barbarian and the Fallen Monk. That one is pretty cool.
I really like this one. He's a bad guy, but he looks nice.
And then, like I mentioned, the Tree Ant and Ninja were new characters to this season 1 Rerolled. So I didn't have their sleeves before or have anything of theirs before. So got their own custom sleeves also. Ninja.
Ooh. Nice.
And the Tree Ant. Who has like tree spirits or fairies or something like that.
Ah. He looks so derpy. I have my tree. Come at me.
And so that was everything with the, I don't have the box cover right now because I'm stacking things on it. But with the Dice Throne Adventures Kickstarter.
Nice.
So just wanted to do that unboxing for you guys. And thank you, Daniel, for joining. Hope you enjoyed it and are excited for the game.
Oh, so fun.
And so if you guys found this helpful, interesting, hope you'll share it with friends, family, people you play board games with, and hope you'll consider subscribing on this YouTube channel.
Where's the button? Down there?
Yeah, it's probably
I don't know where I am, but bottom down right, somewhere.
And follow on our Instagram at I Got Board Game. And so until next time, we will see you then. Bye.